So Steve, we've just bought our new home.
Yeah, it's a bit modest.
It's a little bit small.
Not gonna lie.
Funnily enough, you know the guys I mentioned earlier who recommended the campsite? Well,
hello. This is Darren and Alison. Yeah, why did you come back to the UK, honestly? Like, look at the weather.
And then for the next 2 years, we've got a trip planned going all the way over to Turkey.
Should we just go with these guys? Because seriously.
Yeah. We'll just follow each other.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's escape the UK. What are we doing now? Playing hangman on the ice on the window. You can play noughts and crosses too if you like. What does that say?
We are cold.
We are indeed. Morning.
Morning.
So we've woken up on a campsite. We're going to get up. It's a sunny day despite being absolutely freezing. And we're going to get up full of beans, or at least pretend to be. And get moving.
Very nice campsite. Crap checkout time.
Which is what?
10 o'clock.
Other than that, it's a really perfect place to stay and really good value. So because of that, we're not too bothered about the 10 a.m. checkout time. But yeah, it's just unusual to see because it's nearly always 12, isn't it? All right, let's get going.
Let's go.
right, good morning everyone. So we've woken up in Suffolk. We woke up on a campsite. We spent a couple of nights there. We've just left. It is a beautiful January day. The sun's shining. It is minus something, but whatever, you press on. And the campsite we stayed on, it was a place called the Hollies, and we just want to say a big thank you to Alison and Darren at Finding Xanadu. I'll put their channel in the description if I can't figure out how to put it on here. But yeah, they suggested it to us, and it was brilliant actually, and it was such good value. So the campsite, it's right on the seafront, and it worked out at £15 a night, and it's got electric hookup, showers, toilets, all water waste, the usual stuff. But best of all, at the end of it, there's some steps that literally go down to the seafront and to the beach. It is absolutely amazing. So for that money, that was pretty good. Steve's to the side of me, by the way. He's just sitting out of this one. He just didn't want to be in this one, which is fair enough. He's going to be in the video. It won't just be me. I think you see my mug enough, to be honest. So yeah, just at the end of the campsite, there's some steps and they go down the cliff to the beach. And it's not a conventional beach. It's not like a typical seaside family holiday type beach. So if you're expecting that, you'll be disappointed. But if you're into really unusual beaches that provide potentially great walks, I went for a run along it twice, not very far because I'm still not feeling tip top, but it was absolutely perfect. It was one of the most unusual beaches I've ever seen, to be honest, because you've got all the sand, the sea's quite far out, and then there's all these reeds and marshes in there and these kind of little ponds which are all frozen. So, you know, it won't be for everybody, but the fact that that was on the doorstep of the campsite was so nice for that price as well. So that was just outside Lowestoft, and now there is no real plan. We don't know what's going to be in this video, which is quite exciting in a way. I think the weather's going to turn. I think it's going to start raining, but we will manage to put something together. I'm sure we'll do something to fill our time, put something in this video. So we'll see you later. Right, so we're still in Lowestoft, and what's happening is, funnily enough, you know the guys I mentioned earlier who recommended the campsite? Well,
funnily enough, those guys are here. Anyone would think it was all planned or something, wouldn't they? So this is Finding Xanadu's Campervan, Percy. There we are, there's their logo. Da-da-da, and you can find them on YouTube, as we said earlier. Hello. This is Darren and Alison. Yeah, why did you come back to the UK, honestly? Like, look at the weather.
I don't know. It was to visit friends and family. And I'm sure they're worth it. But we will be pleased to get back into Europe tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, next time, if they can come to us at Christmas somewhere warm, that would be nice.
Yes.
that sounds like a better deal.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
If we do meet up for next Christmas, I think it'll have to be somewhere like, I think where we're going to be next, roughly Greece, I think.
Yeah, we'll be coming to you guys next time, definitely.
Absolutely.
So this is Alison and Darren from Finding Xanadu, which I've already said, but this is their campervan Percy, and yeah, we've met up in a little pub, had something to eat, and they're over here for the UK, and yeah, it's nice to catch up with them because we don't know when we might see them again, and we've been following each other for a while. So they've just moved into their motorhome. How long's it been now?
We were in beginning of November, so what's this, where are we now?
Couple of months now, 2.5
2 months.
Yeah.
And it's been
very new.
It's been an eye-opener for us, going from a normal house and then having to, like I said, I hats off to you guys for what you're doing, little Daisy out there, but to go from a full-size house to this, which is now our full-time house.
And yet to us that looks like a mansion, doesn't it? So we've just had a little look inside, and yeah, it's massive and it's amazing. Really lovely little motorhome. Not little, but you know, compared to a house, obviously it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger than we were thinking of buying. But
Yes, it is.
tomorrow back on the tunnel, right,
Yeah.
across, and then we've got a slow drive down through France, back to Spain, and then for the next 2 years we've got a trip planned going all the way over to Turkey,
Oh, lovely.
and then back again. And
Shall
then we'll
we
make
just
it
go
up
with
from
these
there.
guys? Because seriously,
We'll just follow each other.
yeah, let's just do that. Let's escape the UK. Right, well, lovely to see you guys anyway. I'm so glad we bumped into you, and yeah, give these
And you
guys a
guys.
follow because
Finally.
they are a couple travelling around in their motorhome. They've already been to some really lovely places in Spain, but now they get to go on a whole Europe-wide adventure, so that will be amazing to see. So I can't wait to look out for that. I will put a link in the description or somewhere, but I think I've already said that, so yeah.
Cheers.
Right.
Right, I just wanted to jump on and say that we did actually plan to meet Darren and Alison from Finding Xanadu yesterday, but obviously it might seem, just in case it seems a little bit disjointed in the video, I don't know until it comes together, maybe it won't, but we spent a whole afternoon together. It was so lovely. We had a nice lunch. It was a pleasure to spend time in their company and finally meet them after all this time, because we've been following each other on YouTube for a long time now, and Instagram as well. So it was really nice. I was a bit nervous. You not so much, because you don't get as nervous as me anyway. Because I was saying it's a bit like meeting people off the telly, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but when you've been watching somebody on a screen all this time, it's a bit unreal, and it's very strange to see that person in front of you. So that might sound odd, but you know, if you haven't seen them in person, just only on a screen, and then they're suddenly there, yeah, it's very strange, but really lovely, and I'm so glad we got to do it. So hope you guys have an amazing trip. By the time this comes out, you'll already be over in Europe again, and hope you find the warmer weather, and think of us when you do find it.
Yeah, in the cold.
Yeah, that's it.
In the wet.
Yep.
Yeah.
But today we're going to settle down. We are just in Suffolk still. We're right near Lowestoft, and we're going to head into Norfolk.
But today we're not going to do any filming. We're going to go to the supermarket, and we're just going to bug down for the rest of the day and have a day off of it.
And get rid of toilet waste. It's one of those days.
Yeah, exactly. So we will catch you up tomorrow.
And just to say very quickly, because I like to ramble on, as everybody knows,
No.
is that
You may have.
seen us going to lots of English heritage sites, but we won't be doing that tomorrow. We'll be doing something a little bit different. So it's a new thing for us that you might see a lot more of, but more on that tomorrow.
And we say good morning once again from the humble abode of the classic English layby. And not a bad one. I think you've probably heard us talk about laybys many times on this channel. They're not pretty, but they definitely do a job, and we really don't mind them. In fact, they're definitely a place that you can feel comfortable sleeping in, because you generally feel like you don't have to move or that you're doing something wrong. But also, they are especially precious in England, and even more so when you're in Norfolk, which we are right now, where it's very, very, very difficult in a van. So thank God for the laybys. You alright, Stephanie?
Hi.
Right, so I think we're on about the 4th or 5th day already on this video, and I don't know how far we're into it, but from this point on it remains on the same day, I think. So what we're doing today, as we said, we're doing something a little bit historical, and you may remember, or have probably seen in many of our videos, that we had an English Heritage membership, a joint membership, that allowed us to visit various sites across the country. We've decided that we're not going to continue with that, and we're going to move it onto something else instead. We can't afford to pay for both. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to National Trust so we can see some of those properties as we travel around in the van. I think that's probably quite a good way to do it, because English Heritage, yes, we haven't seen all of them, not even half, but just to switch it in and out each year might be a nice bit of variation.
So where are we off to, Stefan?
We are off to Blickling Hall.
You nearly forgot then, didn't you?
Yeah, Blickling Hall. And it's like a manor house, and it's in some grounds, so I get to walk around in the cold.
Yeah.
A few hours today, yay.
And yet, remarkably, the sun's out, despite the fact a storm's meant to be coming in.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm just moaning because it's not really that cold this morning.
Us moaning? What are you talking about? We never do that.
I love moaning. It's part of being the human being.
It's
isn't it?
99% of our videos.
Yeah.
I've had the statistics in.
If you don't like a good whinge, then
You're not
I
human.
don't know. Good for you, I guess.
So Steve, we've just bought our new home.
Yeah, it's a bit modest.
It's a little bit small.
Not gonna lie.
So we're going to have a tour around the house. You can't go in the house unless you go on a tour. So we prefer to look around things by ourselves, but obviously we want to have a look inside, don't we? So we thought we'd go on the tour. They last about 45 minutes to an hour. And apparently there's a library in there that has an extensive collection of, I mean, I'm going to just say old books, but and it is, but I believe they go back centuries, possibly 16th, 17th century.
Yeah, but at the moment we've got about an hour and a half to kill, so I think we might go and look around the gardens, maybe. Do you think? I think gardens.
Let's do the gardens. Just a small back garden, nothing too fancy. Look, I'm sorry, but it's just not enough. Can we have Beethoven's Symphony No. 5, please? Oh my God, you're getting it so right! And for anyone wondering, the National Trust membership, we've started a direct debit, which is £11 a month, is it, Stephen?
It's £11.30, I think.
£11.30 a month. And when you consider, I don't think that's too bad, when you consider how many properties there are and how many of them are like, what, £17 upwards often to get into, or just on their own. I think that's well worth doing just a monthly direct debit. We'll do it for a year, see how we get on. If we decide we've not used it that much, then obviously we'll cancel it. But I think we're going to get good use out of it. Because all the time we've been in a van, the amount of times we've turned up somewhere and it's been National Trust and we haven't gone in because we haven't had the membership. So hopefully it'll be good. Right, so we just come back to the camper van for a spot of lunch. We just had the tour of the house. What do you think, Stevie?
I quite enjoyed that. I still don't think these things, like, it would have been £11 each. I still think that would have been a lot of money for that. But I did find it interesting. There was a lot of nice things to look at.
Don't forget, it's not just for the house, though. You had to pay for that to get into the gardens as well, I believe.
And I would prefer to do it when we could just walk around at our own leisure rather than do a tour.
Yeah, 100%.
But I liked it. It was good.
So our first trip to a National Trust place after English Heritage, and it's a thumbs up from Steve. I mean, this is a good start. This is pretty amazing, right? Are we sure this is even our channel? Because I'm not. Positivity here. But it was really enjoyable. The tour took well over an hour, actually. And you didn't get to see all of the house. It only took you through a few rooms, and the guides were very informative. They gave you so much information. To be honest, there was a hell of a lot of names and history to take in, so we can barely remember most of it. Also, from these eras past, you know, a lot of people were called the same names, Henry, John, so it's quite hard to kind of keep up with who's who. But absolutely incredible. The rooms are spectacular.
I believe there are other days when you can go around and it's a bit more open house, if you like, and I think we both would have preferred that, because then we could have taken in all the paintings and all the different things that are, you know, decorated around the rooms. We did get some footage. I'm not quite sure what we got, because you kind of had to look and then move on. You weren't really allowed to linger and take too much, but yes, hopefully we got something to show off how beautiful that house was. So yeah, that was Blickling Hall.
There are also extensive grounds to walk around beyond the house itself, including this unusual pyramid-shaped mausoleum, which was commissioned in 1793 by Lady Caroline Suffield, who inherited Blickling estate from her father.
Right, so this tower behind us, it's part of the Blickling estate, but it's absolutely nowhere near the house whatsoever. It's got to be a good mile away, but you can walk on it on the trail around the estate. But I'm sure we read somewhere, and we can't find it now, that this tower is actually on Airbnb, and that's what they use it for. I don't know if that's true exactly, because we can't find it now, but if it is, I'll confirm or deny with some text down the bottom. But if it is, pretty astonishing Airbnb place.
Should we stay tonight?
Yeah, let's stay there tonight. Should we just turn up?
Yeah, it's about 50p, I think.
Oh really? Oh my god, it's a bit expensive.
And we started the video in bright light in a lay-by, and we end it in pitch black in the Norfolk countryside somewhere, with a very windy storm on its way apparently.
Right, good evening. So we've left what was it called?
Blickling?
Blickling.
Blickling.
Whatever that place was we were in the video, we've left there.
Our second home.
Yeah, that's it. The one we're about to move into very soon. We have found a place to park up for the night and settle down, and that's what we're going to do. And I believe there's a storm coming in, isn't there? So it's very windy. Storm Isha, I think it's called. A little bit concerned, but not too concerned, because we've lived through quite a few of these now, and in the van, I mean, and we're kind of old hands at this now, aren't we?
Yeah,
so
famous last word.
I know, it is famous last word. So I'm not saying we're welcoming it or anything, but you know, you get used to them. And when it's times like these, we do try to park in places where there aren't many trees, if it's possible, or telegraph poles, things like that. And we try to park in a way that we're facing into the wind, so it's not hitting us directly to the side. So fingers crossed, we'll be all right for the night.
Aye.
We'll see. I'm sure we will be. It'll be fine. But did you enjoy Blickling Hall, Steve, or whatever it was called?
It's nice. There's loads of really nice artwork in there.
So the tour was well worth it. It's kind of worth pointing out that we didn't really, I'd say the only bit because as we just said earlier, we've just started a National Trust membership, and the only part of that we had to pay for, or in the sense from this visit, was the tour inside the house, isn't it? Everything else was free. Yeah, is that right? So if you didn't have a membership, you could walk around the grounds and see the house from the outside, a bit like when we went to Petworth Manor in the South Downs, if you remember that video. It's kind of like that. So yeah, I guess a lot of it we don't have to have a membership for, but I think we want to explore the houses, don't we? So we're hoping it's going to work out to be worth the money. It's a shame you can't stay in the car park overnight, because that would have been ideal. I don't believe you can stay in many, if any, National Trust car parks. But, you know, that is what it is. And that's all right. And with that, yeah, we're going to settle down for the night and end the video. Tired. So thank you for watching. As always, please like the video if you can. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Just give it a little click, you know, press that little button. Press the notification bell so you don't miss when a new episode is released.
Do it.
Just do it. Just do it. I mean, what else are you going to do? Just watch us.
It's free.
Exactly. Right, thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep, see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.